Miss Roberta and her ignorant sister Betsy spent all their time endlessly gossiping, bickering, and belly aching about their crazy, lazy-bone husband. Everybody called Miss Roberta Majinka Jerk's husband Slick because every time you saw him, he'd be combing his long, nappy hair as he tirelessly pulled up his huge, nasty pants and went back to sleep. She sat on their small, broken-down porch all day long, sleeping and loudly snoring, with both his big, flat, stinky feet popped up high in the air, attracting flies as his loud-mouthed, gossiping wife, Miss Roberta, spent all day long pig-trailing all over town along with her ugly, blabbermouthing sister Betsy, sticking their noses in other folks' business just before somebody would always angrily reach over, haul off, and loudly slap their small, ugly faces halfway off, knock them both down and snatch off their huge, dirty wigs as they both then stood there loudly yelling, screaming, hooping, and hollering, looking for pity and sympathy as almost everybody else in town stood there loudly laughing and yelling out, "That blame both of y'all. That blame both of y'all. Why, you two ugly, gossiping, blabbermouthing idiots. Y'all should be at home cleaning up y'all's filthy, torn up houses. All that, and all those huge rats and roaches done just about completely taken over." As they both quickly grabbed up their dirty, torn up wigs and angrily ran back home. On and on they both go, loudly hooping and hollering with their big twisted mouths still sprung wide open, nearly 3 feet across, as their long, filthy, ankle-long dresses kept on repeatedly falling off. Time and time again, revealing their huge ashy legs and all their huge sagging stretch marks from having nearly 20 kids each, as they both quickly ran back home and flopped down on their one and only dirty, torn up sofa alongside all their ugly, dirty diapered kids who were also loudly yelling, screaming, hooting, and hollering, both as upset, frustrated, aggravated, humiliated, and without any question, as mad as they both could possibly be. On and on they all tirelessly go, loudly yelling, screaming, hooping, and hollering until all their big blabber mouths wouldn't even shut, as all their nosy neighbors' small cracked windows completely popped open and popped out as nearly 900 angry, frustrated residents stood outside in their small, trashy yards yelling out, "That blame all of y'all. That gummit, we mean it. Shut up right that smacking now. That's right. Shut up, Roberta. That's smacking now. You better tell that crazy lunatic kid of yours and that idiot sister of yours, Betsy, to shut up right that smacking now." As they all stood outside all night long, jumping up and down nearly 5 feet high, as mad as mules, as Miss Roberta Majinka Jerk, her ignorant sister Betsy, and all their 45 crazy lunatic kids kept right on loudly yelling, screaming, hooping, and hollering nonstop, unabated, so loud and hard they all could be clearly heard nearly 60 miles away. Also, every now and then, just to make matters worse, Miss Roberta Majinka Jerk and her idiot sister Betsy would climb up on top their small leaky roof, use their naked jaybirds, and start yelling back and forth, talking about each other, crazy, lazy-bone, good-for-nothing husband, while they both still lay in their small, broken-down porches with their huge, stinky feet popped up in the air and loudly sleeping and snoring. First, Miss Roberta Majinka Jerk would always yell out, "That blame you, Betsy, why you crazy-looking, filthy, housekeeping, pop-eyed, gossiping idiot, you. I dare you stand there talking about my dat blame husband while you cross-eyed, lazy-bone, sleepy-headed, two-bit thug, you. That thug of yours named Billy, you married, never worked a dat blame day in his trifling life." As all that crazy, ugly, buck-eyed kids you got look just like him, that ugly, lazy-bone, stinky-footed idiot, as she stood there loudly laughing, snickering, and giggling herself half to death while still repeatedly jumping up and down just before her ugly, bug-eyed, crazy sister named Betsy would angrily stand up there almost foaming at the mouth and loudly yell out, "That blame you too, Roberta, why you ugly, pot-bellied, wig-wearing ignoramus, you. I dare you try to talk about my dad blame husband while you shiftless street bum, you. That you married named Cato, you married, was living down in a that blame drainage ditch when you met him. All your 21 nasty-looking crazy kids all eat out of trash cans all day long, as they both continued exchanging slanderous insults at each other all day long while loudly laughing, snickering, and giggling themselves nearly to death while all their 41 dirty diapered, hungry, nasty-looking, cross-eyed kids kept right on loudly yelling, screaming, hooping, and hollering nonstop until nobody else in town could even hear their own ears. Then, after repeatedly begging and pleading with them all to shut up and once for all, shut up all to no avail, several several angry, frustrated residents climbed up on top both of their tiny torn up houses, reached over, hauled off, and loudly slapped them both down as hard as they possibly could. As Miss Roberta Majinka Jerk and her ignorant sister Bessie quickly jumped right back down, grabbed up their dirty ankle-long dresses, and took off running full speed, headed over to their crazy lunatic mama's house, Miss Alvina Duckworthy Sally, along with all their 41 crazy kids, and still all loudly yelling, screaming, hooping, and hollering, and hid under the bed, both as upset, frustrated, aggravated, humiliated, dirty, nasty-looking, and as mad as they could possibly be. All the while, that crazy lunatic mama, Miss Alberta Duckworthy Sally, would be standing outside her nasty, trash little yard loudly yelling out, "That blame all of y'all, go back home. That blame all of y'all, go back home. That blame all of y'all crazy idiots, go back home." Nearly 8,000 consecutive times in a row, jumping up and down, as mad as a mule, while they both stood there, still tightly stuck up under her one and only small, filthy bed, still loudly yelling, screaming, hooping, and hollering nonstop, just before she angrily ran back inside, as mad as she could possibly be, savagely snatched off both of their dirty, torn up wigs and made them all get right back out as quickly as she possibly could. Just like nearly 90 times before, that they both went running and ripping full speed along with all their 41 dirty diapered kids, yelling, screaming, hooping, and hollering right back to their own small, filthy, torn up houses, where they and their lazy bone, good for nothing husband lay still stretched out on the porch with their huge stinky feet stuck straight up in the air, sleeping and loudly snoring all day long while attracting flies. As their loudmouth gossiping wives, Miss Roberta and her ignorant sister Betsy, spent all day long pig trailing all over town, sticking their noses in other folks' business, just before somebody would angrily reach over, haul off, and loudly slap their small ugly faces halfway off, knock them both down, and snatch off their huge dirty wigs, as they both then stood there loudly yelling, screaming, hooping, and hollering, looking for pity and sympathy, as almost everybody else in town stood there loudly laughing and yelling out, "That blame both of y'all. Why, you two ugly, gossiping, blabbermouthing idiots, y'all should be at home cleaning up y'all filthy, torn up houses that all those huge rats and roaches done just about completely taken over," as they both quickly grabbed up their dirty, torn up wigs and angrily ran back home as mad as they could possibly be.